In the space of 3 days, England have played 2 games at Wembley. And guess what? We've ended up a Rizla paper away from 2 defeats at Wembley in the space of 3 days. We are playing against Belgium and Brazil, 2 nations that deserve an awful lot of respect when it comes to football, but 2 nations that are currently struggling. 2 very uninspiring oppositions turned up at Wembley, and both looked on course to beat England. Now I ask you, why? Why did those 2 teams look on course to beat England? Do they have better players than England? No. Did they have home advantage? Was it very difficult for England to get their groove on away from home in an intimidating atmosphere? No. Both games were played at Wembley. Do they have better individual players? Players who have moments. Players who have that effervescent quality that is unpredictable. Teams full of mercurial footballers. No, that would be England. So why? Why did England struggle and come up so short against 2 sides who put out fairly weak sides at Wembley? The answer is Gareth Southgate. Now in this video, I'm going to try and be calm. I'm going to try and just present my opinion. I'm going to try and remain emotionless and just tell you how I feel, because I'm genuinely upset. I think it is so heartbreaking that we are wasting this crop of outrageously talented footballers on a man who is not capable to manage even in the Championship. Thieving a last-minute draw at home to Belgium off the back of losing to an under-par Brazil. It is not cause for a team containing Declan Rice, Jude Bellingham and Phil Foden to celebrate a 2-2 draw against Belgium. And do you know what? Sometimes you get those epiphanies in football, don't you? Sometimes you get those moments where you're just like, okay, that's the end. It's over. It is simply over. There is no way back. When I saw Gareth Southgate celebrating like a madman on the touchline in the pouring rain against Belgium off the back of thieving a point in the last moment, in the last kick of the game, when I saw him celebrating like that, doing the Marco Tardelli as if we just won the Euros, it was pitiful. We should be heartbroken losing to Brazil with this team. We should be heartbroken drawing to Belgium in the nature that we drew with this team. We should not be celebrating in the way that Gareth Southgate did. And the fact that he celebrated like that, it actually told us everything that we need to know about the man. He's totally out of his depth. When I saw him there celebrating like that, as Wembley was half empty, devoted England fans streaming down Wembley Way, sick of watching Southgate ball, and I see Gareth Southgate celebrating. Do you know what I felt? I've gone full circle. No venom, no anger, no passion. I felt sympathy. I felt sorry for him. I just genuinely felt like somebody needed to take him away. Everybody with any semblance of understanding of how good this England crop are was disappointed with that result. And yet he's celebrating, punch in the air, really giving it. Spontaneous moments of joy from Southgate on the touchline. Meanwhile, everybody is looking at him, thinking, Gareth, this is a disaster. And him celebrating like that was an embarrassment. It's pathetic. Watching him celebrate like that was pathetic. And I genuinely do feel sorry for him. But he's simply not cut out for this job. To be the England manager requires an element of ego, requires an element of stature, requires an element of prestige, requires an aura. Gareth Southgate does not have an aura. He is a weak man. He is a nothing man. He is an insignificant, inconsequential man. I am sure he is a nice man. On some level, I quite like him. But we are wasting this crop of players on him. And even if I do like him, even if I admire him on some level, there is no room for sentimentality. And he is so out of his depth in this job. And he portrays himself as being a patriot. He portrays himself as being a man who loves England and is desperate for England to end our 1966 hoodoo. Now, Gareth, if that is true, if you really want England to end that hoodoo, do the right thing, do the honourable thing, and resign. Walk. You are not equipped for the job. Therefore, walk away from the job and do the honourable, righteous thing. Allow England a chance to shine in Germany. Allow England a chance to flourish in the Olympic Stadium in Berlin. And leave. Fall on your sword. Be honourable. We will appreciate it if you do that. But this is just woeful. It's pitiful. And it needs to end. When you have a squad this good, you simply have to succeed. And now Gareth Southgate is a loser. And I don't mean that in a playground way. I don't mean that in an insulting way. I'm not even making this a personal attack. I am just presenting the facts. Gareth Southgate is a loser. He is exactly what I am saying. Not being emotional, not using the word to mean anything that it doesn't mean. No connotations. I simply mean he loses things. He tries, he loses. Some see him as a valiant loser. But ultimately, he loses. He loses when we come up against good teams. He loses when it most matters. He loses when he should. He never has the ability to change the course of a game. Gareth Southgate loses. We need a winner. And when you analyse the result, when you analyse Belgium scoring 2 goals at Wembley, he is responsible. He is partly responsible. He hasn't done his homework. Playing Lewis Dunk against Romelu Lukaku has a disaster written all over it. Do you know how I know it has a disaster written all over it? Because we saw it about 3 weeks ago when Roma smashed up Lewis Dunk. When Lukaku smashed up Lewis Dunk. When Roma beat Brighton, Lukaku played brilliantly. He smashed up Lewis Dunk. Has Gareth Southgate done his homework? Has he watched that? There is also the perfect opportunity to give Jarrad Branthwaite a cap. Jarrad Branthwaite hasn't got a cap. John Stones is injured. So let's get Branthwaite a cap. Let's get him playing. Branthwaite is one of the best performing youngsters in the Premier League this season. He deserves a cap. And you played Dunk. 0 minutes for Branthwaite, and even more ridiculously, 0 minutes for Cole Palmer. He just got to sack him. Like, Cole Palmer getting no minutes in this England team is absolutely ridiculous. England playing 2 games at Wembley, and Cole Palmer, one of the most dazzling young players playing football at the moment in the Premier League. A man who is so silky, so brilliant, and he's doing the business for Chelsea. Not a minute over 2 games, 2 friendlies against decent opposition, where Cole Palmer would have an opportunity to shine. Not 1 minute for him. England needed a goal for the entirety of the 180 minutes that England played over 2 games. We needed a goal because it was 0-0 for ages, and then ultimately Brazil scored. So we needed a goal throughout that entire game. Never got one. Cole Palmer's on the bench, didn't get a minute. We needed a goal constantly in the Belgium game because we were never winning the game. Needed some ingenuity, needed some opportunity. Cole Palmer at any point? Absolutely not. Fantastic, Gareth. Diabolical man management. And then there's a stat going round. Gareth Southgate's England have only managed 4 wins in 26 games when they have faced teams in the top 10 FIFA rankings. So basically, whenever England play a half-decent team, we do not win. Whenever Gareth Southgate comes up against anybody that is capable of beating him, he doesn't win. When Gareth Southgate needs to try and win a game from a dugout, try and outthink a manager. Whenever he comes up against a decent team or a decent manager, we do not win. 4 out of 26 is a joke with this squad, and that is sackable in itself. People who defend Southgate, they will often flag the result that we got against Germany. When we beat Germany in the Euros at Wembley, people will go, look how well we did. We beat Germany. Get a grip. Get a grip. That Germany team that we beat in that tournament didn't get out of the World Cup either side of that European Championships. So the World Cup before that European Championship, the World Cup after that European Championship. Russia to Qatar. Germany didn't get out the group in either World Cup. And yet, us beating them in the Euros is being positioned as something to celebrate. It is distinctly average. England beating Germany at Wembley, of course we did. We are better than Germany. Virtually none of the Germany starting team of today would get anywhere near this England team. And yet, us beating them a few years ago is lauded by some as being this huge achievement for Gareth Southgate. Also, look at the form that we're in. We're going into a tournament. We're going into a tournament in Germany where we should be favourites. We haven't won in 3 games. What sort of form are we in? How is this team, containing the likes of Harry Kane and Phil Foden and Declan Rice and Jude Bellingham and Bukayo Saka, how is this team not winning games? How have we not won 3 games in a row? It's really troubling. At some point in a tournament, you will always come up against an excellent team. You will always come up against an excellent manager. And when that happens, Gareth Southgate does not have the tactical nous or the bravery to work out how to win that fixture. Gareth Southgate is a cowardly man. He is a cowardly manager. And with that in mind, England will never win with him at the helm. I feel distraught about it because it is such a waste. This crop of players are sensational. This crop of players are elite. Think about the players that don't even get in this England squad to demonstrate quite how good this England team are. Do you know what I'm going to do? I'm not even going to talk about the players that play. Think about the players that do not play. There are some sensational players playing in the Premier League. Eberechi Eze, for example, doesn't get a look in the England team. James Ward-Prowse, for example, doesn't get a look in the England team. Jared Bowen, for example, will not start for England when it most matters. When we go to Gelsenkirchen and we are playing against Slovenia, and it really matters and the 3 points are on the line, players of the quality of Jared Bowen will not be on the pitch. Jack Grealish will not be on the pitch. Trent Alexander-Arnold will not be on the pitch. He is one of the most brilliant, dazzling and creative footballers currently playing the game. That is how good Trent Alexander-Arnold is. And yet he's not good enough for this England team. How can it possibly be that a player good enough for Klopp, a player good enough to win the league and the European Cup with Liverpool, a player who is, by all accounts, dazzling and as creative as you can possibly be in world football, a player that good doesn't get in the England team? And yet we don't think we're going to win a tournament. It's because of the manager. Now, this whole thing can be solved with one foul swoop. We sack him. He needs to be sacked now. He needs to leave his job now. England need to do the honourable, the righteous and the brave thing. It is daring to sack your manager as you approach a tournament. But fortune favours the brave and we are wasting time with Gareth Southgate. 7.5 years we have put up with this nonsense. 7.5 years this man has been in charge and we are getting worse and we are getting more and more uninspiring and there is absolutely no way that we will win in Germany despite being the best team going to the tournament. So let's be brave. Let's make a decision. Let's put it right. Gareth, I implore you to do the right thing. Resign. You aren't capable to do the job, so resign. If you won't, the FA need to do the right thing. Get this man out of the job immediately. Celebrating, pitifully celebrating a draw against Belgium, like Marco Tardelli. It's pathetic. It's pathetic, and he needs removing from office immediately. Do it, and England will win a tournament. Be brave. Go and get Jurgen Klopp. Be brave. Go and get Jose Mourinho. Or be pathetic, wilt, be cowardly, and finish in the quarterfinals and give yourself a pat on the back. We'll be valiant losers yet again. Painful, isn't it? It really is. It's so upsetting. Let me know your thoughts on this, please. Really interested to hear. Do you think that we need to get rid of Gareth Southgate before this tournament starts? For me, it really is the only answer. Appreciate you watching. If you've enjoyed the video, please give it a like. Please click subscribe. We're hoping to get to 300,000 subscribers by Christmas. So I'd love to welcome you into the community. Thanks for watching. Have a lovely day.